on. Come on. My car's open. That's a good boy. Come on. Get in. Get in. That's a good dog.
What the hell is this guy doing?
What the hell? Holy shit! Oh my god. What is happening right now?
That's the 190 on Alaska 753.
I'm gonna land it, like in a safe kind of manner. I think I'm gonna try to do a barrel roll, and if that goes good, then I'm just gonna nose down and call it a night.
No, let's try to land that airplane safely and not hurt anybody on the ground.
All right. Nah, damn it, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I was kind of hoping that was gonna be it, you know.
99, contact south ramp.
Are you able to tell us anything about what's happening? Are you able to tell us anything about what's happening, sir?
Not really, it's fine, I'm afraid.
This is Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. Well, there you have it, folks. Infowars.com has been taken down. It's been offline for a couple hours now, and that's it. They removed us off of Facebook and YouTube, Google, Apple, many of these other social media networks and website platforms. And people said, well, it's these websites' right to do that. They have a right to kick you off their platforms. Well, now what about the fact that InfoWars can't even be on its own platform? What about that? Where our site is now being attacked, cyber attacked, and taken offline to where we can't defend ourselves when the mainstream media decides to slander us on their leftist-run social media platforms. So this is it, guys. This is so...
I'm so bored and lonely. I have no freedom to spread.
Hello.
Holy Teddy Roosevelt's mustache. She's beautiful. You know, Emmy the M1 Grand, you're my favorite piece of freedom I own. Will you make me the happiest eagle alive and spread freedom with me forever? You know, this has been one of the best days of my... My freedom senses are tingling. Must have freedom. And she's wearing Ugg boots. Oh, freedom. I think we should spread freedom with other people. Call me.
Can we ask you some questions? We're from Australian News Network, and we're interested to know what you think about Mr. Trump.
Trump's gonna take those regulations off the back of those corporations. Sounds like a good idea to me. Trump's gonna build a wall. That wall's gonna protect us all. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Oh my God, I love this guy.
Gonna get the economy moving again. We're lower taxes for you, my friend. Sound like a good idea to me. Gonna finally scrap Obamacare. It's a piece of crap. It ain't fair. Sounds like a good idea to me. Trump's poor, so all the ladies' family leave for their babies. Sounds like a good idea to me. LGBT's okay, but 3 bathrooms is a little gay. Sounds like a good idea to me. It's
What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank. Plus
Historically, former heads of intelligence and law enforcement agencies have been allowed to retain access to classified information after their government service so that they can consult with their successors regarding matters about which they may have special insights and as a professional courtesy. Neither of these justifications supports Mr. Brennan's continued access to classified information. First, at this point in my administration, any benefits that senior officials might glean from consultations with Mr. Brennan are now outweighed by by the risk posed by his erratic conduct and behavior. Second, that conduct and behavior has tested and far exceeded the limits of any professional courtesy that may have been due to him. Mr. Brennan has a history that calls into question his objectivity and credibility. In 2014, for example, he denied to Congress that CIA officials under his supervision had improperly accessed the computer files of congressional staffers. He told the Council of Foreign Relations that the CIA would never do such a thing. The CIA's Inspector General, however, contradicted Mr. Brennan directly, concluding unequivocally that agency officials had indeed improperly accessed congressional staffers' files. More recently, Mr. Brennan told Congress that the intelligence community did not make use of the so-called Steele dossier in an assessment regarding the 2016 election, an assertion contradicted by at least 2 other senior officials in the intelligence community and all of the facts. Additionally, Mr. Brennan, to wrap up, for questions specific about comments by Mr. Giuliani, I'd refer you back to him. Once again, for questions specific about the investigation, particularly comments from Rudy Giuliani, I'd refer you back to him to address those. Following up on John's question, how is this announcement by the president Americans not interpret that as getting back against his critics? Isn't it also an attempt to curtail their freedom of speech by analyzing them for being critical? Not at all. The president has a constitutional responsibility to protect classified information and who has access to it, and that's what he's doing, is fulfilling that responsibility in this action. This is action only specific to Mr. Brennan, and the others are currently under review. Just thinking on that, it seems like everybody that you mentioned has been going after political opponents with this. No, if there were others that weren't, we deemed necessary, we would certainly take a look and review those as well. Okay, I want to ask you about some of the questions Attorney Smith. Rudy Giuliani has said of the special counsel Robert Mueller, he is to join the day of reports in CNN, but he said it's not written in the defense of 2 or 3 weeks ago when he mentions Mark Mueller might have time of bricks. Is the president okay with his attorney joining the special counsel this way? Certainly we've made clear we'd like to see this wrap up. For questions specific about comments by Mr. Giuliani, I'd refer you back to him. Was that authorized by the president? Once again, for questions specific about the investigation, particularly comments from Rudy Giuliani, I'd refer you back to him to address those. Jeff?
Okay, last time. How what starts? How what starts? What are you talking about? What is it? And why, if you have a question, why don't you just ask it? I'm happy to talk with you, but this is nonsensical. This doesn't help. What's that? Well, then tell your people to sit down. We're having a question-answer period. Well, then, who are they? If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But this is not productive. This is whiny nonsense.
Get out! Yo, you're bathing.
ISIS has been decimated, but it is still active, not only in Iraq and Syria, but farther east in Central Asia, where the group says it killed an American couple that was bike riding around the world. Here's Chip Reed.
A little more than a year ago, Jay Austen and Lauren Gagan gave up their comfortable office jobs in Washington, D.C., he with the federal government, she with Georgetown University, for the adventure of a lifetime, traveling the world by bicycle. On their website, Simply Cycling, they chronicled their adventures as they pedaled thousands of miles through Africa, Europe, and Central Asia. Austin wrote of bumpy roads, strong headwinds, and tough challenges, but also of the freedom to see some amazing places, meet some wonderful people, and spend lots and lots of time with a really lovely girl. The dream for the 29th day in Tajikistan, near the border with Afghanistan, when they and 2 European cyclists were killed by suspected terrorists who ran into them with a car, then attacked them with knives. 3 other Europeans in the group were injured. ISIS, whose membership has been growing in recent years in predominantly Muslim Tajikistan, claimed responsibility for the attack. Tajik authorities say police tracked down the 5 suspects and killed 4 of them.
Devastation is the word that I've been using the most.
Molly Scalise knew both Gagan and Austin well.
They were such an example of a intentional life and a principled life, and had so much love to give.
In a brief telephone interview, Austin's mother said her son was a gentle soul who simply wanted to leave the world a better place. The State Department says the U.S. has offered assistance, but the investigation is being led by Tajikistan.
Let me tell you something. I'm not that important. They didn't spend hundreds of millions of dollars demonizing me the last 2 years for no reason. They're going to use me as the catalyst to get everybody to accept me being deplatformed. And, you know, getting the idea of feds raid Jones, shut down illegal station. No such thing. It's all made up. Some half-watt thing a year ago or something I never even heard. They're beta testing to make their big move. And this is it. This is it. Now, the good news is I've been called by national talk show hosts. We have the phones ringing off the hook in affiliate relations from TV and radio because they know how things work. They know we're on commercial satellites, fire the tones, follow FCC, even blur out people flipping folks off on videos we show. Even CNN doesn't do that. And the station managers are going, yeah, you're not running pirate stations. You're all... Yep, I crossed this bridge a long time ago. I'm being scared of you guys. I'm scared of failing against you. And I don't think the whole FBI is bad. When I've had stuff done to us or stuff goes on, I go report to the FBI. And that's the paradox of good and evil. The FBI is either like the best people in the world or the worst people in the world. And I've confronted Janet Reno and all of them about this. So I learned about all this when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And then everything I was told that I didn't even know was true or not came true, and I learned it was all true from family that saw it for themselves firsthand. And I decided to be on the side of good. And so if you want to know what's about to happen right now, you need to know about Oklahoma City. And you need to know how the Southern Poverty Law Center and the feds pulled that off, and how federal informants thought they were just going to sting the bomb. I don't even know about from last year that went off the air that no one could hear, that I didn't even know existed, and say it's my flagship and the feds are raiding me. That's to like just get the idea, well, he had that illegal station, you know, we had to raid him. So just download everything I ever said. This has been a big marathon for me. Whatever happens, happens. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about Trump. I'm worried about Drudge. I'm worried about free market. I'm worried about America. I'm worried about our kids because, man, these people will lie their butts off, man. Again, there's even some recordings of this. I didn't ask folks to do it, but I warned a few people it was coming. I've been called by 6 people. A lot of them I didn't warn. That the New York Times literally has people threatening them, saying, you say bad stuff about Jones or else. Dude, that is so actionable. That's so illegal. But they don't care. Because there's going to be a staged terror attack against a major media institution or multiple ones, a mass shooting, a bombing, whatever, and they're going to say, see, we told you.
FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force converged on an apartment complex in Sacramento, they knew they had a high-level target. Prosecutors say not only was 45-year-old Omar Amin a hitman for ISIS and al-Qaeda, he was also a founding member of al-Qaeda in Iraq and a high-ranking ISIS terrorist. Court records show that back in 2012, Amin fled Iraq to Turkey, where he applied to be accepted as a U.S. refugee. He was granted that status in June of 2014, the very same time that ISIS had taken over the Anbar province of Iraq. So instead of going directly to the United States, a Baghdad federal court says he came back to Iraq and shot and killed an Iraqi police officer who was lying on the ground. ISIS later boasted about the killing on social media. 5 months after that attack, Omar Amin was living in the U.S. Resettlement agencies certainly try to thoroughly vet refugees, including medical exams and biometric checks, but because many countries don't have extensive documents on their citizens, a complete background check is nearly impossible. The U.S. often relies on the refugee's own story, in other words, the honor system. Experts say Omar Amin is a prime example of why President Trump implemented the travel ban. Watch.
That refugee application was replete with lies and misrepresentations as to his background, character, and past actions with respect to terrorism in the Middle East.
The FBI has interviewed at least 8 witnesses who identify Omar Amin and his father, brother, and cousins as being affiliated with al-Qaeda and ISIS, and who are believed to have planted numerous improvised bombs in an effort to kill coalition troops in Iraq. Because he's a flight risk, Amin is being held in Sacramento without bail. He will likely be extradited to Iraq in the next few weeks to stand trial for murder. He could face the death penalty.